Welcome to the Flag Motorsport Podcast. My name's Charlie Roscoe, and I'm joined by my regular crew. It is Ryan from Ryan Lee Graphics and Willie from his house. How are you guys?
Not bad, self.
Yeah, good.
Here I am in my house.
There you are in your house, all the way from your very own house.
It's a good place to be.
It is a great place to be. Why not?
Yeah, it's better than playing in the park.
Well, it's true. That is true, and it's very hard to get good internet in the park as well.
It is.
Well, it's been a little while since we've done a podcast. It's been a number of weeks, actually, for those who have been regularly following along at home.
The hardcore followers.
The hardcore followers, yeah, will have noticed that it's it's been a little while. A bit of a change of format this time around. This is our first live podcast, fully live podcast. We've done a couple of things on Facebook, but this is the first main one, so that's cool. Anyway, it's good to try something new. But I suppose we may as well talk about... sorry? What was that, mate?
So it keeps things fresh, eh?
It does keep things fresh. Yeah, a bit more relaxed, a bit more chilled out. Having myself a nice little can of beverage here, enjoying myself, and going to talk about some motorsports. I figure I may as well start with the Formula One. And I know both of you did watch the race on the weekend.
There was a bit of a strange... The whole event was strange.
It was.
I was going to say, I saw the race, but I didn't see any of the lead up. So what was the reason behind Ferrari having issues?
It was power unit, wasn't it?
Well, no, see, with Vettel, they swapped his engine over, which apparently normally takes about 4 hours, and they managed to do it in about 2 hours, which was good, of course.
Not a bad effort.
Not a bad effort. But he wasn't getting turbo pressure. There's no pressure from the turbo, so he went out and never actually completed a lap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's what it was, and that's why he couldn't get out in qualifying and had to start from the back of the grid.
That'll do it to you.
That will do it to you, nearly every time, yeah. But in terms of the results, he actually did pretty well, obviously coming back to fourth. But it was poor old...
Great drive.
It was a good drive, a really good drive, actually. It was poor old Kimi Räikkönen that probably suffered the most from it, because he looked fast. The Ferrari, actually, I'm happy to say the Ferrari was probably comfortably the quickest car out there.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see the Red Bull equal, if not better, than the Mercedes, for once. I think you could probably say it was better. But I think for...
It's not that often Lewis gets beaten by 12 seconds.
No, that's it. So, and I think Verstappen was doing it comfortably as well. Like, I heard them both say after the race, of course, that Hamilton sort of, I wouldn't say gave the position away, but when he saw Max attacking, he wasn't too stressed about defending.
No. Oh, you wouldn't be, though. That'd be stupid too.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, the thing is, he's already got a fair lead in the championship. Sebastian only came fourth. So it was 37 seconds behind the leader. So he's actually only sort of 25 seconds behind Lewis, which is not too bad, all things considered. But the point is, he got 12 points. Lewis got 18. So he only dropped 6 points, which is good. But the thing is, the championship now, and I'll click over the championship here somewhere if I can figure out how to do it. It's actually still pretty close at the top. Close enough, but really at this point, I think Sebastian's going to be hoping Hamilton has a dent.
Breaks a leg?
Somewhere. Well, yeah, breaks a leg. Seems to be the trend in MotoGP at the moment. But yeah, I think if Vettel wants to win the championship, he's going to need Hamilton to either have a DNF or at least a bad result overall.
Yeah, look, he hasn't really seemed to. He's been lucky in that respect, and he has had quite a bit of luck over the past few years too, where they haven't had many issues or failures or anything like that. I suppose they've had the pace of your car, so they've been able to go out and just drive it smooth and fast, and of course that's what you want to go out and do.
Too hard, which of course increases.
That's right.
The
you don't have to.
it.
Yeah, they're not going out and raping it as a word.
The problem, though, is that you only have to look back to about sort of this time last year to see the crumble of Hamilton.
Yeah. It's true, and that's what he's got to be hoping for, because at this point, was it 281 points to Lewis and 247 to Seb? So there's a bit of a gap there. Yeah, I think if the championship's going to run it... How many rounds left are there? I could probably figure this one out easily enough. Championship races. Trying to figure out the Formula 1 website here. Right, so we are up to the Japanese. Okay, so I can see already there's 5 rounds to go. 5 rounds to go, so...
well, it's 125 points.
It is 125 points. I mean, you don't need... If Seb wins all 5 of them, and Hamilton... Yeah, I don't even know if that's going to cut the mustard, is it? Even if Hamilton comes second in every round.
I was going to say, what's 18 times 5? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just under 100, though, so you're talking about 27-odd points difference.
Yeah, well, let's figure out, what did I say the actual championship results were? If we go to the Drivers' Championship, that's not what I was after. Results, and then driver standings. So 281 to 247 is exactly 34 points.
Whereas he'd be 35 down if he got second in every race.
Yeah, exactly. So 18 by 5 is 90. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. It's could happen. If Seb wins every race for the rest of the year and Hamilton comes second in every race for the rest of the year, then...
But that's the thing. So then you're also looking at Hamilton coming second in every race, which at the moment is not necessarily a certainty, with the Ferrari being much quicker and the Red Bulls being there or thereabouts.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's going to get a lot of challenge from Bottas.
No.
He just doesn't seem to have any pace at the moment. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not a bad driver, but he's in probably the best car out there, and he's not really keeping up with his teammate, is he?
No. But they did have different aero packages, though.
Yeah, that is true. But didn't Bottas have the new one, which Toto confirmed?
Yeah.
He said, no, it's definitely an upgrade. Like, it's 100% an upgrade.
Yeah, it's quite funny, really, because obviously we've made it quite clear that we're not really. Well, there's no not really about it. We're not Hamilton fans.
No.
No, we're not.
But you look back on it, and even now when things are getting a little bit more competitive and everything, one thing that you can't take away from him is his driving ability.
Oh yeah, no, the guy can drive.
He is an exceptional driver, but the thing that you don't like is as soon as someone's in front, why are they in front? When are we pitting? Why did we pit then? That wasn't right. And then at the end you'll go, oh no, you guys were right. You guys made the right calls. I love you so much. Now I'm going to point at everyone and ignore everything else that's going on around me.
Yeah, it's probably his off-track stuff that gets to. But no, there's no doubt the guy can drive. And I mean, qualifying, I think he's probably one of the best qualifiers there is.
He is.
Unfortunately, his laps are just perfect. Even when his car isn't up to scratch.
It's quite reminiscent of the Vettel days back in Red Bull, where he'd just wait until the final moment, go out, do that one lap, and that's all he needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's no, it's one of those things though. But what was bizarre, of course, was the Vettel incident after the race, where he came together with Stroll. That was awkward to watch, wasn't it?
It was so weird. I don't know. It looked like Vettel turned in a little bit to the corner, thinking maybe that Stroll was going to keep it tight. But Stroll's probably thinking, yeah, I'm just going to go over here. I'm just going to wave at people or something. And he's probably just going to turn over the side, not thinking anyone's going to pass him.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like it even really did any real damage to Stroll's.
I don't think it
No,
did.
just drove away perfectly.
It was just it collapsed the whole rear end of
it.
Yeah, it did. Like it.
Yeah.
It looked like he hit the side of a wall, like slammed into a wall, and yet Stroll's just cruised away, like not even a bent wishbone. Just like, yeah, what of it?
No, like smashed
Walked
the wing
away
and
like,
everything.
what the hell's happened there?
That's it.
Yeah.
I
thought
did notice...
Seb must have stopped and put the wheel and everything hooked over the top and then got going again. I didn't realise it actually just hit and then just folded over the top. See, that's weird in itself.
Because it was weird because they sort of said that he lost 15 seconds on the last lap. So you're kind of going, okay, he's had a problem. What's wrong with, what's happened?
And then you see the car folded up like a bloody origami.
The next thing you see is the back tyre sitting on the other back tyre, and you're kind of going, how did you finish the lap with that? But it was great when he got a lift back on the Sauber, though. Long live the lift. I mean, people have been getting a lift in Formula One forever, and I don't ever want to see that removed from the sport. And I know that he'll probably get fined. I actually haven't looked that up to see if he has been fined. I presume he has.
No. Yeah.
I think that the biggest thing was for me the steering wheel. Like, you have to leave the steering wheel there, but he was adamant that he was getting that steering wheel, and he took it.
So bizarre.
So there's obviously some trick things going on there, and
it's probably a part of the race is finished in case people ran onto the track. Because if that happens in the event, they tuck the car away quite quick. Maybe they were worried that people might run onto the track and steal the steering wheel.
Surely that's not going to be a thing, though.
You wouldn't think so. I mean, the safety car was there, and that's another reason why he'll get fined for getting the lift, is because he could have just jumped in the safety car, which is behind. There was 2 cars. I think medical car was there as well. So
that's not exciting.
And he's like, no, I'm going to get a ride back on that Sauber. And good on him, because it's a good photo. It's a good thing. That's not what I was after there. But yeah, it's nice to see, and I never want to see that removed. Hasn't been done, I think, since Webber and Alonso, has it? If memory serves me.
Yeah,
that was the last time it was done.
When Webber got in trouble for it.
Yeah, but I mean, geez, there's been some famous photos of people getting lifts back.
Oh, I think I saw one, that brought out a lot of images from the old days where, I think one driver was driving and he had 2 on each side and one was like straddled across the back.
Yeah, back when the suspension could take that sort of load. Although they're down force loads would probably be fine, to be fair. They're down.
Yeah, they'd be. Yeah. But, dealing with a couple of ton there.
They would, a couple of drivers will be fine. But nonetheless, it was nice to see that. Very bizarre incident though. I did notice Vettel just heaped the blame on Stroll straight away. Just went, no, it was him. I was out in the collecting marbles, and he just pulled out. It's like, I don't know if that's the case. It just looked awkward.
Yeah,
it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, I completely agree with what the steward said, where it was no full blame was to one party, so they weren't going to penalise anyone.
Yeah.
But after seeing the video from the person behind Stroll, it definitely looked like he drove out to the outside, and as Vettel said, there was a whole lot of rubber out there, and he was probably just trying to collect rubber. Didn't even think about the fact that there's a car outside.
Yeah, he might have been right. I haven't seen that footage you're talking about from the car behind, but I did.
Oh. He definitely moved to the outside of the track.
Yeah. Look, I did see on Sebastian's on board that the steering wheel was just a constant turn angle. He wasn't reefing on that or anything. So, yeah, but. Anyway, I mean, no one should be penalised for that either, because it's a post-race incident. They tripped over each other. It's stupid and sucked in. If you know what I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it?
I think the main thing is as long as Vettel doesn't get any penalty for potentially having to change the gearbox.
Yeah.
Well, it should be overlooked, I think, because of what it is. The gearbox was replaced before that race, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's not like it's half a dozen races old and they're getting a free kick with it. If anything, they obviously didn't find anybody at fault with it, but what they should have done if they did was probably give the penalty for the gearbox to Stroll.
Wow, that would be a move. I guess what you're probably saying, though, is that when they're handing out these penalties, there should be a difference between mechanical issues, the gearbox not lasting long enough because it's pushed too hard or what have you, versus a gearbox being damaged in an accident, or an engine component, not just a gearbox, any engine component, being broken or rendered useless due to an incident as opposed to mechanical issues and wear, then no penalty should be incurred there.
Yep.
You know? And
as long
you
as the
wouldn't think
crash
that'd be
wasn't their
abused.
fault.
You're not going to go. They're not going to come over the radio and go, I think your turbo's gone. Can you just plough into that wall as hard as you can, please? Like, you'll be right. You're in the safety cell. You're fine.
Yeah, we don't want to drop back. We don't want to drop back 2 spots, but we'll ride the car off.
Yeah. Or your teammates having some dramas. Can you just slam into the back of him in P3, please? I can't say being abused. Like, it wouldn't be a bad system. You know, have the stewards decide, okay, was it a result of an accident or was it the result of mechanical failure? Mechanical failure, sure, apply the penalties, although I still don't agree with these penalties in general, so there's that. But, yeah, it's not a bad thought. Not a bad thought, Willie. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're there for cost-cutting reasons and all sort of stuff to keep it so they're not putting brand new engines and everything in for every bloody race. So it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, as I think we touched on in one of the last episodes we did, the amount of penalties that McLaren have got in the last 3 years. I think it was over 500 grid spots. That's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And as I say, I don't agree with the penalty system. That's got to be changed. It's got to be fixed. And, how, I don't know. But anyway, for now, we're stuck with it. And I think a good intermediate, something you could change, between seasons. If they won't make a huge change for 2018, at least do something like what Willie's saying, at least make it a bit more fair. You shouldn't get penalised with grid penalties because you had an accident.
No, definitely.
So, not a bad thought, But anyway, we'll see how the championship goes. When we're off to is it Japan next? I think it wasn't it? I just was looking before races. Japan next.
Before we race off. Before we race off, we'll touch on the fact that Verstappen finally got a bit of bogey back on him after a year of shit luck to get that win.
He's had a bad time. He's had a real bad go of it, actually. It's and look, obviously being Dan Ricciardo fans, we're Australian, of course that's going to happen. You kind of want to always see him win. You don't want him to lose to his teammate because that's bad. So you typically find yourself not getting behind Verstappen. But I got to say, I didn't mind seeing the guy. Get a result because I've just opened up his standings here. You guys probably can't see yet, but I've just run through. So Australia got a 5th, China was 3rd, DNF in Bahrain. I'll just skip the rest. DNF in Bahrain, Spain, Canada, Azerbaijan, Austria, Belgium, and then Singapore.
Yep.
I mean that's got to be up there with Fernando Alonso. I mean it's got to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we spoke earlier in the year about the most amount of laps done, he was the lowest by far.
Well, that's 7 DNFs. Let's go up and see how old Alonso's doing.
So at least for him having a result like this, it might stop all the talk for the moment about him looking elsewhere and what's going on and all that sort of stuff and being unhappy. Probably put a little bit more confidence back in him and the team and everything, knowing that they can deliver.
10 DNFs, so I wasn't very close there. Alonso's actually only finished 4 times. So, probably not as close as I thought. But still, you get the point. He's in a Red Bull. He should be going well.
But he made it through more laps, though. That was the difference. Whereas a lot of the time, Verstappen will be out quite early in the race.
Yeah. First corners or first laps. He has to just avoid...
Yeah, where Alonso
calm your fan.
Gets told at lap 42 of 47... just pull it in. Or a couple of times it's been on the second last lap.
Yep.
And they've gone, okay, we need to retire the car. And you think,
yeah, or thereabouts. Second last lap or close to something.
Yeah.
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 I don't have a problem getting behind Verstappen though. Obviously, as you say, being the Australian, we want Ricciardo to win. But
course, yeah.
I think it also comes down to a matter of understanding a talent and seeing it for what it is. And obviously, he's quite a good steerer.
He is a good
So to see him do quite well, and Ricciardo's not like he finished 9th or anything. He was there. He beat everyone else. So
he did. Yeah, everyone bar Hamilton. I would have liked to have said. I think he would have beaten Hamilton had he have gotten past Bottas on like lap 2. So he was only stuck behind him for a lap. I think he'd have been fine. But he got stuck there for so long. I think when he first got past, he was just over 10 seconds shy of Hamilton. Of course, he caught it right up. But it was done, It was...
that's it. It seemed at the front it was very much a managed race. It didn't seem like they were pushing very hard. I was definitely hoping for Vettel to come back and challenge on those softer tyres in the end of the race, but that just never happened. So, that was a bit of an anticlimax, but whatever.
It was a little bit. But, it was all quite good. And obviously, Ricciardo was pretty pleasant about it all as well. He, no hard feelings, anything like that. And it was Max Verstappen's birthday weekend. It's pretty cool that the young fella chalked up a win on his birthday 20th. Weekend. Yeah,
wasn't it, especially after everything else and not having a good result at home for him. So, no, good on him.
Yeah, yep, I agree. He seems like a good enough guy. He's young. He gets a bit fiery sometimes, but
I forgot how young he actually is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just...
Oh, he's probably made more money in his career already than I'll ever make in my whole life, but, whatever.
He absolutely has, I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
But, no, good on him, It was a solid win, good victory, and yeah, as we say, it's off to Japan next, which should be a good track. Although it's usually a good track for Mercedes, but it'd be nice to see the Red Bulls go well. And I tell you what, if they've got their shit sorted out, they might go quite well there as well.
Yeah.
Ferrari will be wanting to recover from what was a horrible round.
Yeah, I can't see him not doing that though. It's you sort of just see that they'll rise up as they should.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, in a perfect segue, though, the most annoying thing about the Japan race is obviously it starts right before the Bathurst finishes.
It does,
because it is the Bathurst 1000. It pisses me off so much.
Same.
Every year.
Yep.
But
always end up
what
having
can you
to
do?
watch F1 delayed because you're not going to walk away from the last half an hour of Bathurst,
Hour.
Is it the last hour?
That's
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you're not going to walk away from the end of Bathurst, and you're not going to lose sleep over watching it delayed by an hour or whatever.
No.
So that's fine. So it's a long stint because you got the Petit Le Mans, which actually finishes a 10-hour race. It finishes as Bathurst starts, and then you watch the Formula One right afterwards.
Yeah. It's not good timing by them, is it?
No.
I suppose they probably hold out Japan as long as you can because they're in a pretty similar time zone to us. They're not hugely different.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So no, that's all right. I don't care. Whatevs.
That's it. But no, looking forward to Bathurst. I've got a couple of days off coming up. I've got a 3-day weekend, which is always nice. Means I don't have to miss anything. Who's going to win?
Probably the people with the car.
Yep, the people that cross the line first after 161 laps, you reckon?
Yeah, and they'll have a teammate and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
generally they'll make a couple of good pit stops through the day, and the luck will befall them. At this point in time, calling who's going to be the Bathurst winner, who bloody knows? I mean,
I think it gets harder every year. Like I really think Giz is probably going to be someone who's really going to be strong. But whether I'm sure Campbell will be fine throughout the day and everything. I'm sure there'll be no issues, but it only takes one little thing and he's not in the car all the time. It's not like they've picked somebody who's been in these cars quite a bit. I'm sure they'll be fine.
I think the one thing about that, though,
is a strong
the one thing about that though is that Campbell was just as quick as Scotty McLaughlin at Sandown on the same lap, same track, everything. He was following him. He was just as quick as Scotty McLaughlin, and that's something to say.
Yeah, it's probably just things like if there's change of weather, that's when it's going to throw it up.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's just dry, that's fine. Like, I'm not there this year, so it can piss down for all I care. Yeah, but not for the whole race. Probably just a little bit here and there and stuff, just to switch it up a little bit. Yeah, actually, that crash getting shown at the moment in the Dunlop series.
Yeah, in the depot. I don't know if you can see, but they've installed. I don't know where I got that word from. I'm making them up now. Looks like they've installed a new tyre barrier.
I was standing right there for that last year.
Oh, yeah.
I recorded that on my phone.
Oh, nice one. I was
just recording the cars come past, and I thought, oh, here comes a bit of mischief.
So what did he do there? Oh, yeah, he locked it up into the right-hander, which sprayed him out, slammed into the wall, and then straight across. I mean,
yeah, it's a good idea because that's destroyed a few cars, and it's a big heavy hit. That's a good idea.
Actually, isn't it?
It's going to make a mess when they hit it, but
yeah.
No, it's going to be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't that video say? Oh no, it was just one. Yeah, but it does look like they've actually removed the wall. They have, haven't they?
No.
They've actually.
No.
Is the wall still there? They've just put the tyres in front of it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that would make it narrower, though. Not that you often get a couple of cars going through that, but
I was going to say you shouldn't be out there anyway. I mean, not that I'm actually seeing what you're looking at, but if I know the part of the track you like, I think I do. You don't want to be out that wide.
It's the actual dipper, so it's the left. It's the right-hand wall itself, in the left-hander of the dipper.
If you're out there, you're in a bit of mischief anyway.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah.
So but yeah, it looks like they've installed a new barrier, which is cool, which is a good thing. Yeah, I'm just flicking through the new. Say again.
Although it's the cleanup that takes so long, but I suppose if it fucks the barrier if they hit it.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably a different event, but they need to run it longer. After Sandown being cut down to 350 k's or whatever it was because of the delays, put it on earlier in the day. Like, for fuck's sake, I don't know why it's so late in the day that it's got to be the last thing and all that sort of jazz. Put the support categories on later. If people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Don't ruin the races. Have it so that you put like the little guys on. Unfortunately, they've gone there, and if things get delayed, they don't race or whatever, or they're not shown on TV. Just have them race it a bit later.
I don't know. I don't know if they can do that though. If you can't not run a category because there's licensing that's involved with these costs that are involved with fees and everything, so you have to run it. And then there's lots of sponsorship agreements that come in as well, so people go towards certain events that are supported by V8 Supercars media because of the fact that they're going to get the airtime at certain times and all that sort of stuff. So they don't do it just to piss fart around. But why they do the race so late, I'm not 100% sure. Because frankly,
seem awfully late.
If they just cut out half of the non-track bullshit that's on that day to start with, then you'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, they sort of have that in place anyway, just in case things happen. They can sort of cut things short or longer or whatever with that sort of business. But I don't know. It just sucks. Like, you've got 2 Enduros for the year. Well, you got Gold Coast, but that's not as... Oh, I don't class that as the same sort of thing, but it probably is.
No.
Anyway, so you've got essentially 2 Enduros, 500 and 1,000. And for the 500 to get cut right down into what pretty much was just a co-driver, not a Sunday sprint race, but wasn't much different to a normal Sunday race, what felt like that way. So it sort of feels like we had a Enduro taken away, really.
Yeah.
Because what was it? How many laps was it short?
You did 127 laps. So yeah. I think the biggest thing that they're going to have to look at is what happens. Because 2 years in a row, we've had red flags due to incidents that turn at the top of that hill due to the massive crash and subsequent damage to the tyres. So, obviously straight away there was a lot of call for, do we change the track? Do we fix that up? Somebody come out who was a photographer, I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but they were saying that they've been there and they've been... and they've seen every single crash that was at that place, and they remember them all, and they know that not one of them was because of the turn, but because of the people driving the cars.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I completely agree. Nobody should touch the turns because the track is what the track is, and a lot of people suggested extending the runoff. Well, you can't do that because
there's a highway just there.
Yeah, it's like 10 meters behind the stand is a freaking highway. So. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's not. But starting it earlier in the day would certainly help alleviate those problems. And it does make you wonder why. Like, they can start other races earlier in the day. It's an odd choice to have it so late. But it's something you won't have to worry about at Bathurst because, of course, there is no time certain with Bathurst, just night. Once it gets dark, they'll stop the race. But short of that...
Which is good because so many times they have the countdown.
The cars do have lights. I don't know if they're any use at night at all. I suppose we'll find out.
I wouldn't think so.
But I was just looking that the Sydney night race locked in for 2018.
Yeah, it'll change the regulations a bit, I think, because if you look at it, they don't really run headlights anymore.
Not proper headlights, no, for sure.
No, like they once used to. Now they've just got like a little bit of a cover that looks like a light and a little LED circle where the headlight should be.
Well, if you see them pulled apart, because I thought it was like the first time I saw the new Falcon and one of the lenses fell off, and I was like, the fuck's this? That's not a headlight. But then one of the other cars have had theirs taken off as well, so it's almost like the real lens is over the end of it, but all the guts of the headlight isn't there. It's just it's just a box with an LED light in it.
Yeah, and that's all it is. And it'd be to save weight, save money, save potential damage, because how many times have you seen them hitting curbs at Gold Coast and the tyres and stuff at Clipsal and all that sort of stuff, and headlights popping out and causing flags and all that sort of stuff. So there is potential implications from headlights coming out. But if you're going to do night races, they're probably going to have to up the intensity. Well, not necessarily put real headlights, but up the intensity.
Fuck it, put... you might have to just put a little extension on the hamburger cam because you're going to run a full roof light bar and another light bar across the front.
Just light up like Christmas time. It actually says here, confirmation follows a lighting test held at the Sydney Super Sprint this year. Will make the first Supercars night race on Australian soil since 1997. I didn't know there ever was a night race.
Oh yeah, back in the old days.
I don't know whether it was a full part of the calendar, or was it just like a?
No, it used to be a races. I remember. I remember.
Did it at Calder Park too.
Yeah, did it at Calder Park. Did it at. I think they might have even done it at Oran Park. Did they? I can't remember. But I remember the old Downsy days and everything. They used to do night races.
So
back then, for sure.
I haven't been following the series for long enough.
Yeah,
actually, it looks like, judging by these pictures here, 1996 Eastern Creek, which of course is Sydney Motorsport Park anyway.
Yep.
Was at night anyway. So didn't know. I haven't been following the series long enough to know that. But there you go. I didn't know they'd ever held night races.
Look at the second picture along at the top, all lit up, which is
yeah. That's
a bit hard with it. Yeah. But there was
Coca-Cola. They look like V8's.
VR and VS. There's the.
Oh, that's.
I think it's Scafey's car up in the top corner, with the brakes lit up.
Ah, yeah, the Coopers and Librand or whatever it is.
I tell you, if there's one thing I enjoy about the potential of night racing for supercars, it means it opens up the day for more racing. So we don't have to have the Australian Endurance Championship GT3 race, which is a 3-hour race in the morning on Saturday, start at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So you can push that back in the later day, because apparently there was a fair few people who, obviously this year we only had 17 competitors as opposed to a full grid last year. Apparently there was, damaged cars, politics and all that sort of stuff, but apparently there was a lot of people that just didn't want to get up and race that early.
Yeah, right.
So that's interesting in itself.
Now the Calder Park. So someone had already said Calder Park. So yeah, they were whoever.
Calder Park.
Yeah, 1997 V8 Supercars Calder Park Race 3 is a night race. So I'm just trying to see how well lit up the track is. It looks like in places not well at all. They're just literally relying on headlights.
No, not Calder. No.
No.
But that's all right.
Actually, looks pretty cool. I didn't even know this was a thing. There you go. I've learned something tonight.
I was going to say, you don't need it to be lit up heaps. I don't understand why you need it to be lit up. The biggest problem you'd have is obviously spectator safety, which is the main problem that they generally face, having the spectator areas lit up enough that there's not going to be issues with tripping over, falling, or all that sort of things. Yep. But you don't need lights on the track to make it look good. Like that's Abu Dhabi at night versus the Spa 24-hour at midnight. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with seeing the GT3 cars riding around with absolutely pitch black and headlights ablaze.
Yeah, no, it's true, and you get used to it anyway. They'd be fine.
Yeah, especially if you're there.
Then. Good old Barry Sheen.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the day, and Gardner and Alan Jones.
Yeah, it looked quite cool actually. Top comment on that video is they need to bring back night racing. Kenny Online 051, you're going to be very happy then when you see when you see the latest news on the Supercars website. But
just because you asked so nicely.
Yeah, that's it. It was the way you asked. They went, yeah, fair enough.
It was. Here we go. I'm pleased I made that comment 2 years ago because it paid off.
Exactly right. So
I'm keeping it rocking a Kenny.
Now, the one thing we haven't discussed is the new track, the Bend, as we will. Whether it's Talum or Talum, don't know. But anyway, we call it the Bend. Has been confirmed for the 2018 Supercars calendar. So, what do you reckon about that? It's it's a dirt track at the moment, but...
Yeah, saw a little virtual video of it. Parts of it look pretty cool, but then a few parts look like they were...
I found that virtual video, didn't I? Let's get that playing.
Yeah, sort of fast flowing areas, and it was sort of apex to apex to apex. It sort of reminded me a little bit of Circuit of the Americas, that part. So there'll be no passing going on there, because even if it's fast and flowing, it'll
be one line.
That's right. But I don't know.
Looks like a long straight though. I don't know if that's just because it's in sort of rendered. I wonder if this is R Factor. I wonder what game this is. But anyway,
It looks like R Factor.
It does look like
Hey,
R
this
Factor.
it's a different video to what I saw today. I saw an onboard one.
Yeah, so did I. But this
Yeah,
is a bit longer. This one might. Yeah, 2:26. Oh no, this is all. None of this is on board. There's another video.
Yeah, I think there's two videos floating around. One from outside of them, and then one of them on. But that'll be a Bob's Track Builder scratch up that one, I reckon.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Because I even remember I used to mess about with that a few years ago.
It's quite open, isn't it?
It is. Oh well, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. That is true.
If there's one positive to take of it, it's 100 k's this side of Adelaide and meeting 600 from here. So I'm actually going to go there.
Yeah, just a casual 600 kilometre drive.
I've done more than that today.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I think that's the only preview they've got by V8's magazine. So I don't know where that other preview was. It was an onboard one because I saw it as well. You'd think the Supercars Twitter would share it, but
Yeah, I saw it this morning. I should have taken a little bit more notice of where I actually caught the vision from.
Yeah, but either way, it looks interesting. It's long. I'd be interested to see how it goes down.
But you wouldn't think they're going to waste their money with a new track. You think if they're going to do it,
it's going to be a whole motorsport complex out there. That's going to be massive. So
yeah, thumbs up to it. Thumbs up to a brand new track.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
how could you not support a new track? Anything that's
Yeah. Thumbs up to a track being built, not just spoken about for years and years and years. Because I swear, if we had
a permanent one.
Yeah. If we had a track that was built every single time that someone said we're making a track, there'd probably be about 40 tracks in, like 40 major tracks in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, it's good. I'm happy to see it. Another venue to Adelaide as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, two in South Australia for the year, which is good. But it's not on their Twitter anyway. But there is a virtual guide floating around the internet somewhere.
On the new livery for Nick Percat, how weird is the fact that the base livery for his new Boost Mobile car looks identical to James Courtney's car?
Well, it's not that they look identical. They are. They are exactly the same.
They're different teams.
That is bizarre.
Sorry, who was it? Nick Percat and
Nick Percat, James
Courtney. So I'm wondering if it's just
a Boost Mobile thing.
Yeah, but why they wouldn't support the other Walkinshaw car, I'm not real sure, unless it's a sponsor clash.
I was going to say, you've got Mobile on the bonnet of Courtney's car, but I think that Mobile probably wanted the 94 car still at Bathurst, which is what they're running.
Yeah.
It is,
isn't
it? Because they are essentially...
It is that... Yeah, like back in the day, there used to be Larry Perkins ran Castrol, and so did Tony Longhurst, and one was in a Falcon, and one was in a Holden, and they were different liveries, so they did look different. Where these are the same livery. It's not like they've kept
sponsors here and there.
Yeah.
Courtney's livery from earlier in the year, or the retro livery, which I was actually a bit of a fan of. I quite like the new livery as well. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Yeah,
but just absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about that, and if it's mentioned.
I posted a picture of.
Hopefully they don't make contact.
Just racing together. Who's got who? I think it was on Brad Jones. Somebody said, "Why is it the same as this one?" And they said that it was that the Boost Mobile team had designed the livery. And I posted a picture of the Polanski guy off Bring It On with the spirit fingers, how he did that same thing up and down the East Coast in that movie.
Yep.
It reminded me of that. It's like someone's just peddling the same bloody livery to every team.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, although in the photo there, it does look like a gunmetal rather than a black. So
yeah, well, I think he does say, what does he say? It says it's, gunmetal grey.
Yeah,
and,
it's metallic.
Chrome orange. Whatever chrome orange is, just gloss
it's just a really highly reflective. But all things aside, it's bloody Bathurst week. That sort of makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's always a good week when it's Bathurst week.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so I'm looking forward to it, and unfortunately, I'll be working for all of it except Sunday, so that makes me sad. But
Yeah, well, as it turns
ups
out,
and
I
downs.
may be working pretty much all day Saturday now, which is a bit of something.
You boys are no good.
Oh no, how can I do that on my favourite week of the year?
It is.
But that aside, I will be doing nothing but watching TV on Sunday for Bathurst. Best day of the year, Bathurst.
Yep, for
For,
sure.
for me, my
Looking forward
favourite
to
day.
it. It is a good one. It is a good one. So, yeah. But anyway, that is about everything we will touch off with the Supercars tonight, I think. So,
Yeah.
thanks to everyone who has joined us. If you have enjoyed the... well, if you're watching it live, hopefully you've enjoyed it. First time we've done it live. Otherwise, if you're just watching it as a video on YouTube, remember, if you have enjoyed it, to leave a like. It does help us out a lot. And of course, if you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe on the channel. But that is about it for tonight. So thanks for joining me again, fellas.
No worries.
No dramas at all.
And we'll talk to you all in the next